Welcome back to Ship Shape in Bristol Fashion with your host Alex, also known as Solinist Raccoon. I am keeping an eye on OBS over there because this is my my third attempt to record here. I started off just all akimbo there, so I think I've got all the bugs straightened out. We are moving on to the geckos, the station hopper being apparently the simplest of them, so let's-a go! Clouds of radioactive particulate can be neutralized with coolant. Good to know. I guess if I spring a radiation leak, one of those sparkly sparkles, then I can put it out with a coolant canister. But then that's wasting more money, so why bother? Okay. As with any ship, I like to start out by doing a once around. Kind of like with the mackerels, really. This is one of those ships that'll potentially have sticky outy bits. But there don't appear to be any now. So, let's go on with our step one. Let's go ahead and get the inside of this thing safe to work with.
Airlock depressurizing.
And it's got the room-style airlocks on it, although it will most likely have some of the other airlock types there, so you get a nice mix. And of course the inside is pressurized. Let's grab ourselves a credit drive. And as usual, priority number one, find the atmosphere regulator. In general, you're going to find them towards the front, but I always like to look around, see if there are atmosphere regulators in other rooms. I'm certain this is going to close the door on me.
Air pressure level decreasing.
And as you can see, there's a Type 2 reactor. Geckos have those. Now, the moment I open this door, there's going to be a great big storm, so I'm just going to repressurize this area.
Air pressure level increasing.
I'll save the, it's better to depressurize smaller areas into larger ones. This one is broken. Pretty certain this is not a ghost ship. Yep, it didn't indicate it was a ghost ship. So let's just go ahead and move towards the front here. There we go.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Okay. So now, it's time to let the storm loose, because I'm going to be venting into the smaller portion from the larger portion, and hopefully we don't lose. We lost an atmosphere regulator. That's just going to happen sometimes. Not much you can do about it.
Pressurizing.
Yeah, it's pressurizing. Okay, open it up. A little bit more release of atmosphere. But it is generally better to release from smaller areas into larger ones. Okay. So now let's just go around opening all the doors. Thankfully, airlocks will depressurize without your supervision. There's nothing to worry about over here. Nothing to worry about back here. Although, it is nice to know that this is where the entrance into the larger portion of the outer hull will be. So, yeah, this looks like a pretty standard setup. So we're going to start by getting the back off. Basically, that's the first thing we got to start working on, is getting the Class 2 reactor out. So remember, with all Class 2 reactors, first, disengage the thrusters. Please do this before you have messed around with any electronics. Okay, all thrusters released. So we're not getting to it yet, but we will. Now I'm going to drop the nacelles. And there were 2 sets of nacelles on this ship. So I'm going to start hunting for the other one. There we go. And work our way from the back. Typically, on these geckos, of course, you will find multiple thruster Class 2s and a ton of fuel tanks in the back. So be careful. And let's just hunt down that other one. There we go. Alright, so those have been cut loose. And let's work on disposing of them properly. In general, the outer portions of the inner ship, basically the space between the hull and the main body, will actually be unpressurized. In a lot of cases anyways, it's not 100% always, but frequently enough.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Still, remember, always depressurize the whole ship before you start taking any bits off. Okay, next step. Let's extract the thrusters and the thruster caps here. And again, the Geckos are big chunky boys there, so you might have to do a bit of maneuvering. And this is a situation that I'm uncomfortable enough with that I will tether that one. Should make it over there just fine. Except, of course, it goes bouncing off into the void. Get over to the right spot. God. These thruster caps, man, I tell you. I'm definitely not on mute, and I am definitely recording. So it might be better to move upwards with the thruster cap, but I still like to tether it where I can. Even if you're in regular mode, even if you're in story mode and you got limited tethers, make your life easier on yourself. Now get.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
It's like I said, it's kind of like the mackerel but bigger. That one will be fine. Okay, and away you go. I'm going to assume that thruster cap went where it was supposed to. No, it didn't. Oh my gosh.
Applying credit to account.
Sometimes you gotta apply a little bit of pressure. Okay. So, all the that stuff taken care of. Now I want to just slightly empty out the front there. So let's go ahead and work on that. Remember, we're not touching any of the electrical yet. And specifically what I want to take care of in the front, if I can find the doorway in, is I want to empty out the cockpit area. It looks like there's only one way in or out from this area, which is... it's not ideal, but I mean, you're not in a heck of a lot of danger. And honestly, by the point you're at Geckos in the main game, as long as you've been keeping your O2 tanks up to date, then you're not really worried about running out of O2. I mean, you might be, but in free play, why would you turn on O2? Alright, so glass, very tiny piece of glass here. And you might wonder why take that off. Well, for one thing, it makes getting this bit off easier. Goes into the processor like everything else, true. But when you actually start taking apart the ship and extracting things from it, it actually helps a great deal to have removed that part. And you only sacrifice a tiny, tiny percentage by taking off the glass. So I just want to extricate the cockpit area as best as I can. At least the stuff up front. Because believe it or not, this can provide an impediment to removing the outer hull. So I'm just going to get anything that's sticking out beyond that rim there. And that would have been an ouchie, I am certain. Were I playing in career mode, then that would have hurt, being slammed with that. I'm going to kill all the tethers. Okay, that's enough for the moment. Now we got us a bit of a job inside this ship, don't you know? We have got to just separate all the stuff. And you'll notice there are some parts that are aluminum, and some parts that are nanocarbon, and it might not always be easy to separate them. Do your best, that's what I say. Okay, so let's begin to separate the outer hull. Whoa, 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 easy, buddy, easy. Okay, So the way it works is that the outer hull is joined on to this long keel. And the keel has cut points for the external and cut points for the internal. So you want to start with going for the cut points for the internal. Or external, rather. Start with these cut points. Keep an eye on this. This particular cut point right here actually will prevent the ship from separating in the back, so go ahead and get rid of it. But we're just going to proceed in a line along the top and then along the bottom. Sometimes you might have to wiggle jiggle your way around in order to get past, but for the most part it's just simple drift along. Glad I have a mute button. So this process resumes on the bottom. Take off that front as well. And we're just going to head underneath. Here the going might get a little bit tricky, but it should be fine. It's best to proceed along the top first though. And my right leg is going to sleep. Okay, generally you can wiggle your way through these tight little spots here. Just a little bit of side-to-side action. Plus also they'll begin drifting off on their own, so just creep forward. It's only for a very short amount of space. And don't just go blind firing ahead of you. Okay, excellent. Now I'm going to repeat the process along the top. Or along the left side. As you can see, this is now free. We can let that drift as it will. We'll get to that. As long as you're aiming upwards and being careful not to hit any canisters, you're golden. Okay, this is very clearly largely free. But we should, before we start flinging stuff into the processors and the furnaces, we should at least be keeping track of what we're doing. This part right here is the waste disposal unit, and you may actually need to find one as part of career mode. It's an armadillo. That's the name of the ship. That's what Beulah is. And these are actually super simple to extract. Believe it or not, they go in the processor rather than the barge, although the fume chute goes in the barge. Don't at me. And back along the bottom. We don't need to worry yet about cutting out these bits along the keel. We're just separating the outer panels. This is all perfectly fine. Wiggle jiggle. Yellow middle. That's the best of what you are. I love you, egg. Okay, so we've got all that separated now. I'm going to just quickly pull loose these fuel tanks. Things are already drifting slightly here, but it's okay. Okay, the fuel tanks are now separated. So let's begin the disassembly of the ship. Starting from the back, this part is loose, I promise. We didn't miss anything. I'm just going to begin to pull it toward those yellow lines there. And 3 tethers might be appropriate. Believe it or not, it will clear the furnace. I promise. While it's going, you might as well get these fuel tanks out of the way. And grab the lights if you like. Remember, lights are kind of low value here. Let's get this bit of keel out, though. Come on. No, that's not going to go in. Okay, fair enough. Alright, buddy, I'm starting to get nervous about your tethers. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It'll clear. It'll clear! It'll clear! It'll clear. Okay. Fuel tanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
All is now safe. Let's see if giving this a push will help. It certainly didn't. But as it's clearing that spot, it should start to get pulled in. Let's see, is that happening the way I think it will? No, but let's renew some tethers to go right in there. It'll swing around. It's fine. And let's just proceed to start dragging stuff in there from here. And I'm choosing not to bother with separating the aluminum panels from the nanocarbon panels. I just don't consider it worth the hassle, because there's so much involved. But I'll do one to show you how it's done. It's a good idea to do bottom top, because then you'll generally be better able to find purchases for your tethers in there. And that's the most important part of all, isn't it? So far, everything on this right side has been nothing but nanocarbon. Yeah, if you can get it to go inside that field, you're golden. And look at that, it's just a stately procession. It's kind of beautiful in its way. This part, however, may give us a teensy bit of trouble. That's part of why I took out the cockpit glass to remove that upper canopy, because extracting this part can be tricky. And if you remove that upper part, it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to start off by doing a single tether to the hab and see how it pulls. It's not pulling great. Now I'm going to go from the bottom. I generally find that it pulls better from the bottom. 2 tethers tend to help the most. It ain't budging, so let's get a third. Okay, now it's starting to move. You can see it's starting to think about it. Come on. So you might have to jiggle it a bit, but that's okay. Come on, you can do it, boy. I believe in you. See, it is having to extract itself from around that cockpit area. But now it is completely clear, so I'm going to kill the tethers and just swing him around in there. Good old 3 tethers. Okay. Pretty certain this part is loose, but I'm going to continue to follow my kung fu. And we'll probably get this out. Let's go ahead and just get the door pull, and let's grab ladder.
Secured. Applying credit.
102 credits for the ladder, not exactly your make or break,
Processing
so don't sweat it too hard.
Credits transferred.
Nothing volatile enough that we can't fire a laser at it for a split second. Okay. Airlock removed. Get you gone. And get you in there. Excellent. Okay, this is all nanocarbon.
Account credit applied.
And it's completely free and unobstructed to get into the processor. And as you can see, things are progressing nicely. It doesn't take actually all that long to extract the external portions. Now this part is the aluminum, and that's going to be a little bit interesting to get out. Now, there are ways and means and such to do it. To get this out, I'm going to say that probably your best bet is going to be to go with the demo charges. And the reason being is that the demo charges, they can be more accurate, plus they can actually cut through this nanocarbon. Now, I've never actually put this into practice, so we're going to find out together whether or not these cleanly separate the aluminum portion. But let's find out, shall we? I'm going to make such a mess. Okay. Oh. Well. Excellent. That very neatly separated it. Ah, that is good stuff. Alright, so you're going to lose a tiny bit of nanocarbon. But how much is that aluminum worth?
Material accepted.
57,000 versus losing about 8,000, so it is pretty darn good in my opinion. We'll get to you later. Okay. Now I'm actually going to vacate this piece first. Just because we had a wee touch of issue getting the other side to come along nicely. Gosh, look at this. God, that got messed up a little bit, didn't it? Wow, that is completely separated. It's alright. Wow, heavy. Holy moly. I did a number on this. Alright, that was great. Be careful what you do. Be careful what you do. Okay.
Object processed. Credit
Whoop.
deposited.
Let me show you something here. Might have noticed it, but... Okay, either that was from the demo charge or something else. Could have been from the demo charge, but that supports my my hypothesis that the internal structure of the geckos is by and large, between the hull at least and the main body, is free of atmosphere. Now, the next thing I will want to do is I will want to extract these fuel pipes. Since we went ahead and detached all of the thrusters, it is safe to detach the fuel pipes. Okay, so that little cut point between the three fuel pipes will let us get at fuel pipe. And it's just a good idea to get them out of there if you can, because we're going to be doing a little bit of maneuvering to try and get that reactor out. Okay, that should float just fine. I'm sure none of this will become a huge headache.
Object processed. Transferring credits.
Okay. Oh no. No, 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 no. 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 Okay. The fuel pipes are a nightmare. Get in there. Oh, you think you're stuck? You think you get to be stuck? I don't think so, my friend. Get moving. That should be fine. Alright. Yeah, that'll be great. Okay, so... and you go in as well. I guess that's what you get for messing around with demo charges. Frankly, not worth the hassle, IMHO.
Credits awarded.
So with those fuel pipes out, now we can start moving the central back piece out. And that should be A-OK, nothing to worry about. And let's take a quick look here. Alright, so we'll be able to extract the reactor pretty darn well from here. I'm just going to, real quick, separate this off.
Valuable object accepted for processing.
And it's pretty darn light, so you don't need to worry too much about it. And let's get some of these panels down below moving in that direction as well. Or other directions. there are 2 processors and 2 furnaces and 1 gigantic barge, and I didn't need that.
Valuable object processed.
Don't tell me you're still attached. Hold on, what gives here? Oh! I missed one. Did I miss more than one? No, I did not. Now, I'd like to extract that part, but it's better to go the opposite direction with that. Because that whole cockpit area is in the way. Away you go!
Processing valuable deposit. Credits transferred.
And remember, we're just focusing on getting the parts out. Okay, we're just focusing on getting all the externals taken care of first. All of this is nanocarbon. Horribly, horribly deformed nanocarbon, but nanocarbon nonetheless. And I'm just gonna let this this aluminum go. I don't care about the aluminum. You can be gone, aluminum.
Processor deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
Just everything goes in. Beautiful. Okay, so let's start clearing off some of the rear gubbins while we're at it. These waste disposal units. Oh goodness, hold on. I almost forgot to get this, and I'm pretty sure I just wasted the fume chute. Yeah, the fume chute's gone. Wherever the fume chute was, it's now gone. So, okay, that's some money lost. Yeah, we can't see the details yet. But clearly fume chute wasn't that important. Away you go, and you can follow. Move faster.
Object accepted for processing.
Yoink. Sploink. Joink. Yeah.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
And get him flowing in there. So that takes care of all of the external hull, except for this. Well, that's part of it, so okay. Next, time to get the keel taken away. Let's remove the keel. Just move along said keel, finding these horizontal points there, and also the vertical. Everything that's keeping the keel together. Just to get them into manageable chunks. Believe me, you do not want a full body-length keel having to mess with getting into the processor. This is a long bit right here. As you can see, it's very... Well, maybe that's not the long bit. There is a long bit that is very cumbersome.
Processing valuable object.
I think it's this one,
Credits
yeah.
awarded.
This is the weird one. If you're trying to get the entire keel into the processor, I wish you luck. Because it is just long and unwieldy, and it's got a bad tendency to swing towards the furnace. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the upper keel taken care of.
Object processed. Transferring credits.
And we're going to have a lot of good stuff to get off of this thing. I'm not certain whether it's the Gecko or the Javelin that can be considered the biggest ship. I guess it's a toss-up. Javelins are certainly huge and imposing, but they're narrow. And they're generally not too complicated to take apart. Whereas the Gecko There's a lot of bits and pieces. Okay, so we are now well past the polite phase of things, so we can just start yanking crap off. Let's go ahead and get these.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Thank you. And what are you all about, sir? So maybe it was a touch of a mistake messing around with demo charges where they weren't required. So I'm going to take the easier approach to extracting this reactor. Just sacrifice a few aluminum structures.
Cutting tool overload detected.
Yep, and this is where if I was in career mode, a problem would be occurring now. So having... what the heck? Do you count? You can't possibly. Do you count? I don't. Alright, maybe it counts. Let's take off the ring piece. See what happens.
Destroyed. Please revisit your training.
My heart's not broken about the ring pieces. In fact, they make my life easier to get rid of. What in the world is holding you? Explain to me, what is this shenanigans here? Oh, it's this bit. There we go. I'm still not going to lose any sleep over those ring pieces. Okay, so that makes this super easy. Just take out the customary 3 panels.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Alright. Now, best thing to do, I think, here would be to just cut this particular wall off, because that's where the ECU is. And remember, the ECU is the second stage in safely releasing the reactor.
Salvage destroyed. Don't do that.
Okay, that frees that up. Away you go. That's a furnace piece, so away it goes. Alright, so now we've got easy access. So let's begin the process. Remove the coolant bit by bit. And it's go time. So since we cut that hole in the wall, easy peasy. We could just swing around.
Reactor meltdown
Extract.
sequence triggered. Urgent action required.
Boom. Simple as. Okay, now let's cut this portion of the pipe off. Okay, so we're going to have to say goodbye to a small portion of the pipe, but I am not going to lose sleep over it. And we can much more easily pull this out now. Come on, come on, come on. Remember, keep at least one of those aluminum structures attached between the top and bottom plates. So that way it all goes as one contiguous unit. I'm hoping it's not going to do some shenanigans. No, it's fine. We're good. Okay. Next, ECU comes out. Unless you can find that key that they keep talking about that I've never seen, then you're going to have to destroy that little bit of coolant pipe. But that's simple as can be. And of course, every time you disassemble a piece that had a door, ow, that would have been an injury. Then you got to deal with the parts of the door that got all loosey-goosey and whatnot. Alright, so now we are free to do as we may. Okay, that's a clean extraction.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
That'll go in. Yeah.
Processing valuable deposit.
Excellent.
Credits transferred.
Okay, so we want to take that reactor housing, not reactor housing, that radiation containment unit, and separate that out. I don't think you need to do the corners. Yep, you're fine without doing the corners. Let's just pull her down a wee bit. And 2 tethers gets her in. Wonderful. That's gonna make the furnace piece. Let's get another furnace piece. And let's proceed. As usual, air filter. You can just burn off that little borderland around it. And if anything happens to be attached to it, well, it's fine, it can go. Oh! Please explain to me how that caught fire.
Processing object. Applying credits to account.
Probably because it was attached. Or I went through it somehow. I don't know.
Account credit applied.
O2 canister. Oh, looks like I don't fire it. Alright, any other bits and pieces in here? Okay, good. So, alright. I believe that for, oh, no, there's a wee bit more. I'm going to detach table. Detach power cell, or battery pack. Yeah, I just wanted to detach the table, and let me also detach the computer, because we're about to pull the entire back off this thing. Okay, so... burn out the corner pieces, too.
Salvage destroyed. Please avoid damaging valuables.
And you don't have to do, like, every single one, but if you can kind of see what I'm going for, I want to separate these 3 compartments. And the problem with separating those 3 compartments... Ooh, let me get the fuse, since that's about to... If you separate the part the fuse is connected to, it'll disconnect the fuse, no problem. Don't forget the fuse cap there. Okay. Alright. So I might want to go in and drag some of that stuff, actually, before I start fully separating the back section here. Ooh, I'm gonna have to detach a couple of these things, because the backs simply will not come loose unless you have detached all this stuff that is right up against the back wall there. So all of the storage bins gotta come loose. And that's fine. You can just fling nonsense all over the place if you want. It really does not matter in the slightest. You're not going to break anything, although I will take this. My goal is to get the valuables out of there, the stuff that needs to go into the barge, out of there. And just get it, like, in this general area. It can just be in the main cabin. It does not matter. Just kind of empty out the room. Yeah, let's get the battery pack out of there. And the whole idea is this back section will be coming off all together at once. We'll be probably having to pick up a few pieces, but I can assure you it's better than trying to drag an entire internal hull of the Gecko, the entire ship's superstructure, into a furnace. It's not going to happen no matter how many tethers you have. That thing is just too big and chunky. You gotta take it apart bit by bit.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Alright, so... Yep, that's all loose, and pretty much everything in there is going into the furnace. So I'm just going to drop a couple tethers on it and let that sail away. There are probably going to be some bits and pieces left over, some pieces of aluminum panel, table, all that nonsense. Feel free to fire it in the furnace.
Material accepted. Credits transferred.
It's a touch messy, but still a lot less headachy than dealing with it piecemeal, or dealing with the whole thing. And you can't avoid destroying a door, so don't even stress it. And you just want to go into the barge, so away you go. Okay. Just taking off the crab shell here. Alright. So now we got a nice open back going on. Let's just start pulling and barging.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
Pulling and barging, my friends. Anything trying to escape in this direction?
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits
No.
transferred.
Good. Let's right ourselves. Okay. Storage bins are probably going to be the most unwieldy.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credits.
Let's just get it all out. Everything goes into the barge now.
Salvage accepted. Credits
I like to
applied.
start with the bottom, pull out the seats. And I'm not doing huge
Salvage
pulls.
deposit secured.
Okay, I'm just doing light taps. Just to get them moving, otherwise they're going to come pounding into my face. You know, I don't like things pounding into my face.
Salvage
Hope you know
secured.
that.
Applying credits.
Don't start pulling until the thing is completely separated, otherwise you're going to have a big headache. Because your brain is going to get smashed in.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And it's just a clean go at everything. No impediments, no obstructions.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to
It's all clean, baby. Just pull from the back.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Maybe move back, down, or up a little bit. I'm killing any tethers just in case.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
A lot of storage bins. A station hopper is what it sounds like. It's a passenger ship. You can see from all the seats there that this was meant to carry people.
Salvage deposit confirmed.
Its people carrying days are done. Ow! That would have been a serious injury. So be careful with your tugging.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
There's more chairs up front. Now, once you've satisfactorily cleared out enough, you can begin to slightly disassemble the back section a little bit more. I prefer just to, use my long eyes. But since it's about the time to start separating another portion
Applied.
of the superstructure of the inner hull, so to speak, then we might as well start doing that. So, what we're seeking to do is to find the line.
Registered.
Now, you'll notice that this panel right here is whole, but there are seams between the others. So, you want to try as evenly as possible to cut a line from there to there, and that separates those panels. Let it cool down. As soon as you hear the pop fizz, it is loose. Salvage ain't destroyed, quit your yammering. If you can't retrieve vaporized aluminum ions, then what kind of salvage are you? Yeah, it's probably gonna need to come off too. Alright. It'll be fine. It's fine. Okay, and of course we got this nonsense again, so just line it up. And zippity zap zap. Okay, that was the whole way around. So this part is going to be on its own. Fire that into the furnace, but yeah, okay, and that part's been separated too, not a big deal. But we got these two neat chunks now that can go into the furnace. Brilliant and beautiful. We've just opened up another portion. So let's just go ahead and get this air filter detached as well. Gorgeous. And you know, that just brings us that much further forward. That much better visibility. That much less to pull on.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
What are you? You are door console.
Salvage
Okay.
deposit registered. Account
Neat.
credited.
I've never seen any amount of bashing crap around actually hurt items. But I say that and then watch it happen. At some point. It'll make it.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Okay. Looks like we got the majority.
Credits transferred.
Let's just grab all the loose tiny bits here.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Okay. This whole section is now clear. So next step is separate this. I'm going to try to go for 2 compartment spaces at once. That seems dandy. Let's see, where are the fuses though? I do want to know where the fuses are. Fuses are forward. Okay, good, good. So I'm not losing anything important. So let's go ahead and do it like this. Same as we did for before. Let it cool down for a second between each cut.
Please refrain from damaging salvage.
Yeah, salvage, yeah. We might lose a bit, but by far this is going to be the easiest way to do it, I think. I mean, yeah, we're not getting our maximum output. We could be going through doing the whole da-da-da-da-da. But I feel like this is better. This is easier. This is more thorough. And time is money. So I am positive that this entire section is now detached. So let's go ahead. Yep, see, there it goes. Now, as before, we may have some problems with these door panels, but it looks like things are good. And look at that. That's just a whole ass section of ship floating away. You can go too. Although, let me make sure there's no... Yeah, door console. Door console, man.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
Don't care about the light. Do care a little bit about the tether being looped on itself. Go! So a bit of good news, by the time anybody is seeing this video, I will probably be, definitely if it's more than a day after it, but I will be no longer doing the morning shift. I have been driving to downtown Houston to be there at 8 a.m. every morning, getting up at 6 o'clock in the gosh darned morning to get an hour and a half to have plenty of time to get downtown and eat breakfast. I'm not dealing with that anymore. Starting Monday, Monday the after the 7th, I don't have time for that. But starting Monday after this episode comes out, I will be working 11 to 7, which is great because that means I no longer have to worry about traffic. Traffic is the bane of existence. We all know this.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Remember, all these little gubbins parts here, they don't matter unless you are in career mode, where you're trying to repair the armadillo. So as you can see, just pulling it apart this way has left us just such lovely wide open access to this stuff here. And these suit patch kits and med kits would be super useful if we were in career mode.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
I'm just picking up the kits and whatnot because if you dispose of them in the furnace, I think you get a negative. You get a ding. There are 2 more air filters to remove.
Account credited.
This is poster. Poster can go in the barge. It's fine. Alright. I will start removing those portions when I have cleared out this section. I guess this section is as cleared out as it's going to get. So, don't forget, atmosphere regulators. I do give a darn about atmosphere regulators. So, alright, separation. Separation. So just do the easy, extract, tether drop, extract, up or down, doesn't matter, fire, boom, all that good stuff.
Applying credit.
Now, let's work on the power generator. The 2 fuses are right here. I mean, you could yoink it and be a hero, but there's no reason to do that. And don't forget to just get the, I guess you'd call it the fuse cap. I don't know. Doesn't matter at all. It barely makes any difference. I don't think it even counts. But it keeps something from floating away and being an obstruction. The power generator's loose. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Because it probably is. Okay. Now, the remaining is going to be all in that room. So, I would like to get a clear shot at what's in that room and not have to move my way through narrow, tight spaces. I want to just be able to pull and fire. So I'm going to extricate this door. And if you come in and look inside, you'll notice nothing's really up against this door. Nothing's up against this particular panel. So I have to feel like that's how they wanted it. You burn the crisps. Okay, just take out that little bit there. And let's see if we can extract it. Yep, The only thing getting in the way is the light, but that's not even getting in the way anymore.
Salvage accepted.
Oh,
Credit
bonus.
applied.
It's swinging downward. So that means I can just pull out and fire straight down. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Salvage registered. Transferring credit.
Bloody genius.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
We're safe. We're fine.
Salvage secured.
Tiny
Credit
tugs.
applied.
Yoink. Tiny tugs. Bloosh.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
All these computer terminals. I mean, you know, it didn't have to turn straight down, but it did. And that makes it more interesting.
Salvage deposited.
Makes it easier for
Applying
me.
Credit to account.
Alright. Don't forget to take the stuff from this area. There's a few bits of good in there.
Accepted. Credit
I'm sure you'd be kicking yourself for missing out on the good old bucks. Good old money points. Anything else of value? Atmosphere regulators are of value. I mean, right now you can see we are darn near the end of it here. There does not appear to be anything else in here worth salvaging. I am inclined to believe that these bottles and food packets and whatnot will get dragged in with the rest of the ship. So really, all we gotta do now is empty out this. And as you can see, firing straight down,
registered. Transferring credit.
it is just a dawdle. Piece of piss.
Salvage deposit secured. Credit
Okay.
awarded.
That looks like every last little bit of actual proper valuable bits and pieces. Don't. Oop, look what I missed. Ow! No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, so, be more careful.
Salvage
That
deposit
was
confirmed.
almost nasty.
Applying credit.
So, gentle, 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 and yoink. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure that's the end of it. I don't see anything else. I mean, you can pull off these handles, but those are worth nothing. Those are worth 0. So, it's not worth fighting for. I'm just mainly looking for any external power packs. I'm not worried about the garbage. 100% is a pipe dream. Yep. This whole ship, as far as I can tell, is 100% ready for scrap. And sure, why not pile on the tethers? And let's just watch the slow and stately procession of the skeleton of this ship careening into the inferno. No reason not to speed it up a little bit, though. What, you thought I was keying up for a spit take? Come on. This isn't that kind of channel. Okay, it's in there pretty good. Let's drop the tethers. And let's just watch it slowly burn.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
It's almost majestic in a way. It's certainly satisfying. Yep. It's all gone. So, one last sweep with our scanner. See if there's anything worth grabbing. That is a light. Most of this is just garbage. Gonna do a structural scan because there were bits and pieces of hull. Hello. What are you? Aha! That's why you do the check.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Let's go down. Let's do another structural. None of that looks important. Usually it'll tell you if you're pointing at something important. Yeah, I think that's your lot. Let's just go down to barge level, see if there's anything floating just above the barge that didn't go in. I don't see it. If you? Do you see it? Huh? Huh? Nope. Okay. We are done. So let's go check our score. It's not going to be perfect, but hey. Home sweet hizzle. So our results are remaining 0.1%. I'm certain that was the garbage. Destroyed 2.6%. It's nothing. It's nothing. And we salvaged 97.4%. Considering that 95% is what the game rewards you for, that it actually gives you badges for, yeah, and I do regret the fume chute. That I should have been able to get. But considering that the game rewards you for 95%, that's pretty good. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Once again, I am Alex, also known as Solon Mr. Cone, and this has been Hardspace Shipbreaker. Bye.